Hey, welcome to this video, and today I'm going to talk about how this deal almost fell apart in so many different ways. Because when you have a deal go absolutely perfect with no problems whatsoever, that is a good thing. But with this, I got some stories to tell. This deal here, there was quite a bit to it that it seemed like every impediment that could come up to this deal did come up and tried to trip me up. So I'll take you through all of these here, and let's talk about it. So the first thing was the deal itself. So initially when I looked at it, it looked good. Checked out the property as far as the look of it, had a look at the numbers, kind of running them a bit, and then I wasn't quite adding things up properly when I was running the numbers because I didn't factor in some taxes and a couple other things. So then it was like, okay, the numbers don't quite work. So what if we make the numbers work? Luckily, the seller was open to, he wanted to sell, and he was open to kind of, making a deal. It's like, how about if I make a concession here, you make a concession there, and when two people are willing to do that in order to make a deal happen, a big gap can be overcome by a little step on one side and a little step on the other, if you know what I mean. So we got the numbers sorted out, and then, all right, let's go. The deal proceeds forward. Next, we had some over negotiation. So kind of, what does that mean? We were going back and forth as far as just hammering all the particulars of this thing before we actually do up the paperwork and start to sign. Like, let's just get everything hammered out. And I kind of pushed a little bit too much on one kind of issue. I was hoping to get a little concession for him, and he was like, hey, if this is a problem, maybe this isn't the deal for you. Yeah, it was a little bit awkward, but hey, it was a learning experience. I learned not to, try to get so much out of the deal, tried to squeeze every last drop out of the deal. So initially we had some contract problems. The way that the contract was spit out from his system, he was using some software to generate this contract. It did not fit our needs the way that we needed it to, and we had to go back and forth several times just as far as the wording and particulars in the contract, because there was some wording in there that wouldn't allow me to execute this property as a slow flip, and I needed that wording changed. So the nice thing is that we were able to go in and have these updates. We couldn't make the updates to the contract because it was kind of like baked into his software and it only spits it out a certain way. But we were able to go and create a nice one-page addendum. And the great thing is with that, you can have your contract, you have your addendum at the end, and at the top of it, it says, if there's any conflicting language between the contract and this addendum, the addendum wins. So simple. Nice and easy, right? Then we had, okay, so we've got the contract figured out. We've got the addendum in. Everything looks good. And literally we've got typos that are forcing us to go back and redo the contract again because I put an email address in. And it was one of those email addresses that it sounds good when you say it or think about it. And you're like, yeah, let's do that. And then you actually have it written out. And then it's not like the easiest thing for someone to duplicate. You know what I mean? So that silly email address caused a typo. I send it back to him. It comes back to me. Okay, we got it. We got the typos figured out. Okay, so now we've got that figured out. And then it's like, okay, we signed the contract. Everything's good. Now we need to get some money exchanged. We need to set up the payments so everything's nice and automated, and it's going to go through. The payment portal that he was using, I had checked out and used before with my email address and was still hanging on to it. It was still hanging on to that old email, so he couldn't set me up as like someone to pay him in the system because I was already in the system with that email address. So now it goes back to him and he's got to talk to their support. Yeah, like it's just wait, there's more. Now, after we get the email, the support gets the email cleared up. Like, good to go. All right, so I go in there and then I need to set up the banking information, the auto pay, connect my bank to his system, get everything all automated. And the way that they do that is by sending you a text message. And my cell phone number wouldn't go through. And then I have a business number, which is a VoIP number, and the VoIP number wouldn't go through. So then we had to go. So then I got to tell him, hey, it's not going through. We got a problem. Can you get back on with their support? So another hurdle in the road. Comparatively, my first deal, the only hiccup with that was that when it was the day to get the insurance, and just before the day of signing, my daughter decided to do a header off of a couch onto a coffee table and split her chin open. So we spent several hours at the hospital, and I actually missed the window, so it was the next business day. So I didn't actually have insurance coverage on the very first property that I bought. I didn't have coverage on it for 24 hours because of a trip to the hospital. And I thought that was like a big deal. This deal, so many issues, so many issues. Finally, after all of the setbacks, we managed to run out of problems, essentially. But the only reason that I wanted to make this video was to just show you that, you know, like, there's going to be things that come up when you're doing your deals, but you know, it's just noise. You're just trying to get to the end goal. You're going to make this deal happen. If you're committed and you want it to happen and you want to get your deal done, you'll get it done. Unless it's some kind of deal-breaking situation, you know, these were just kind of like annoyances and some setbacks, because I knew it was a good deal and that we would get it done. But wow, just so many things. Me and the seller, we texted back and forth more than two teenagers in love. It was crazy. But deal's done. And on to the next one, baby. My name is Sean Bailey. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to click the like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.